Su Chen catches the sect master as she falls. In a completely relaxed manner, he showed that the fight was nothing to him. Just moments ago, she had mocked his abilities, claiming he barely passed her test. But now, the look in her eyes has changed. "Put me down. You passed." She offers him a rare smile, finally acknowledging his strength. But Su Chen doesn't celebrate. Once back on her feet, the conversation shifts to Su Chen's true goal, Liberty City. She warns him that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. "Don't think Liberty City is that great. To be honest, I'd rather stay out here in the wilds than be trapped inside those walls." But Su Chen isn't looking for safety. He's looking for opportunities. He doesn't argue, and he doesn't explain. He simply gives a short, calm response that signals his path is already set. "No problem. Oh, right. She'll just cause trouble if she follows me. I'll leave her in your hands for now." Fu Susu is caught completely off guard. She didn't expect to be left out. "Hey, wait a minute." But before she can protest, the sect master steps in. She has her own cleanup to handle, and she's just found a new assistant. "Little sister, don't worry about him. Stay here and help Tian Yue and me take care of these traitors." Fu Susu is left embarrassed and confused. As the group prepares to depart for the next phase of Su Chen's plan, Sister Tian stops them. She knows that where they're going, the giant python nest, is no place for the unprepared. By the way, that python nest is far too dangerous. Even Su Chen might not be able to protect you both if things go south, so I'll help disguise the two of you. The sect master revealing the disguises and puts the rabbit ears on Duan Ya. "Sister Tian, are you joking right now?" Instead of tactical gear or high-tech camouflage, Duan Ya finds herself with a pair of rabbit ears. Duan Ya can't help but feel like the sect master's sense of humor is a bit twisted. In a world full of giant mutated predators, dressing up as small prey seems like a death wish. "Are you trying to send us in there as appetizers? Can wearing these costumes really count as camouflage?" Alongside her, Yun Yun is sporting a cat-like outfit, looking equally perplexed. They were expecting armor. They got a cosplay convention. "Stop talking. We're leaving. Now." With Su Chen's icy command, the light-hearted moment vanishes. The costumes might be a joke, but the mission ahead is deadly serious. The group finally arrives at their destination, the frost giant python's nest. The air here is unnaturally cold and chilling. This is it, the frost giant python's nest. Su Chen lays out the stakes. This isn't just a hunt. First, the python's crystal core, required to bypass the gates of Liberty City. But the sect master adds a second, more mysterious objective. You also need to find the missing scientist. Complete both, and your entry into Liberty City is guaranteed. A scientist in a place like this. In his past life, he knew the apocalypse was chaotic, but research in a monster den suggests something much deeper and potentially more dangerous than just simple survival. What could a scientist be researching in a place like this? As they step inside, the group is met with a labyrinth of dark tunnels. One wrong turn could mean walking straight into the jaws of a predator. "Su Chen, there are so many paths. Which one do we take?" Knowing the risks, Su Chen makes a tactical decision. "These tunnels are a death trap. I'm going in alone to scout. You two stay at the entrance." But going in alone is suicide. Listen to Su Chen. "If all three of us go in and get separated, it will be even more troublesome. We'll stay outside and provide support." "All right then. We'll guard the entrance. Be careful." "Got it." As Su Chen disappears into the depths, the scale of the nest becomes clear. Without a map or a guide, most would be paralyzed by fear. But Su Chen simply picks a path and keeps moving. "It's bigger than I thought, but it doesn't matter. Any path will lead to the same result." 1 hour later. "I've been searching for an hour and haven't encountered a single thing. Where is this frost python hiding?" Suddenly, the silence is shattered. The very foundations of the cave begin to groan. Above him, massive stalactites begin to vibrate violently. Su Chen stops in his tracks as the ceiling starts to give way. The tremors aren't just local. The entire cave system is reacting. Back at the entrance. "What was that? Did you hear that sound? It's coming from the forest. Something is happening out there." Back inside the tunnel, massive chunks of ice and rock plummet from the heights. Through the dust and the crashing ice, a new sound emerges. Not the hiss of a snake, but the frantic screams of humans. Su Chen stares into the darkness of a connecting tunnel, his eyes tracking the source of the commotion. Out of the shadows, 3 strangers burst into view. They aren't hunting, they're being hunted. "Doctor, the frost giant python is too powerful powerful. We've already lost many people. We should retreat immediately. Idiot, this is a frost giant python with special abilities. Do you know what that means? But a frost giant python with spatial abilities. Su Chen's eyes are fixed on the three fleeing survivors. But in the shadows, the frost giant python has finally revealed itself, not in front of him, but directly at his back. While Su Chen faces a monster, his companions at the entrance are facing a different kind of threat. Who are you? And you two are a little rabbit and a little raccoon who just transformed into humans? Wait a second. What's that in your hand? Gold. What did you do to it, fool? You secretly ate my mutant fruit and almost caused yourself to explode. Good thing I intervened in time. It's not something you can touch at your current level. Your body temperature is too high and your aura is chaotic. If this continues, you'll be blown apart by the mutant fruit energy. Only the low temperature inside the frost giant python's nest can suppress that energy. Endure it a little longer. We're almost there. Gold never lets anyone hold it. What did you do to it? Let it go right now. Yun jumps and attacks the woman, but she dodges. I don't care who you are. Give gold back to me. Without waiting, Duanya uses her mind control ability power on her. After Yun strikes, Duanya unleashes her mental control ability, but the woman before her doesn't even flinch. To Duanya's horror, her mental assault hits a literal dead end. The strange woman reveals her power. Ability, invisible wall. An impenetrable barrier of pure energy shimmers into existence. The mental wave is completely neutralized, shattering against the wall. The woman isn't just defending, she's offended. She turns her shield into a weapon, driving the invisible wall forward like a steamroller. You dare lay a hand on me? Are you tired of living? Duanye and Yun are caught completely off guard. They were prepared for a fight, but they weren't prepared for this. They realize that they are drastically outmatched. The invisible wall isn't just a shield, it's a mobile prison. Duanya and Yun find themselves crushed together, paralyzed by a force they can't even see. The more they struggle, the more the air seems to thin out as the barrier locks them into a cramped, airless space. It's so cramped, it feels like there's a wall behind my back. With her enemies neutralized and pinned to the forest floor, the woman doesn't even spare them a second glance. For gold's sake, behave yourselves and stay here to calm down for a while. As the mysterious woman vanishes into the darkness, panic sets in. It's not their own safety they're worried about anymore. It's Su Chen. He's already facing a frost giant python in a pitch-black labyrinth. The last thing he needs is a powerful, hostile awakened creeping up behind him. Oh no, Su Chen is in danger. In the suffocating darkness of the cave, Su Chen finally comes face to face with the predator. The giant python is a titan of scales and ice, looming over him like a god looking down at an ant. Finally, Su Chen found what he was looking for. I found you. The python strikes first with the speed of a falling guillotine, its massive jaws capable of crushing steel. But Su Chen isn't just any survivor. He moves before the beast even clears the ground, spinning through the air. He doesn't just dodge to stay alive. He dodges to reposition. Using the momentum of his descent, Su Chen focuses every ounce of his strength into a single point. Boom! The impact echoes through the cavern like a thunderclap. The giant that looked down on him just seconds ago is driven into the stone floor, its eyes glazing over as Su Chen's sheer power rattles its brain. The king of the nest has been humbled in a single blow. In the other tunnels of the cave, the sound still echoes. What's going on? The vibration came from behind. The giant python doesn't seem to be chasing us. The scientist quickly realized that the situation had changed. An unknown variable had been introduced into the equation, and he wants to figure it out at all costs. But that's not the case for everyone. Something's not right. Come back with me. What? This is way too dangerous. Su Chen stands over the fallen beast, looking more disappointed than relieved. One punch and it's down? This thing is way too weak. Assuming that the fight was over, he prepares to harvest his prize, reaching for the crystal core that will grant him entry into Liberty City. Beneath his feet, a cold reptilian eye snaps open. A strange, shimmering energy wraps around his legs, pulling him into a void. To any other man, this would be a moment of pure terror, but Su Chen's mind is already analyzing the situation. The feeling was familiar. This feeling, spatial ability. In a flash of light, Su Chen is erased from the cavern. From the edge of the tunnels, the survivors Su Chen saw earlier emerge. They aren't just refugees, they seem to be bodyguards protecting the very person Su Chen came here to find. Doctor, did you see that? That guy also disappeared into thin air. Stop talking nonsense. Give me the computer. Su Chen's disappearance is far from being a mere accident. The scientist explains the situation. That giant python has already swallowed more than a dozen of my men into its spatial dimension. The data calculations show that the python's space is almost full. That thing probably took a job from Liberty City, specially acting as a line-filling baby. But one alone isn't enough. We need at least one more. Just as the dust settles from Su Chen's disappearance, the fox woman arrives, but she doesn't draw a weapon. Instead, she walks up to the giant python. "Hey, big snake." She speaks to the monster like an old friend, suggesting a deep, mysterious connection to the mutated creature. She isn't here for the crystal core. She's here on a rescue mission. She puts down gold. She is trying to stabilize his condition. "My friend isn't feeling well. Let me borrow your icy nest for a bit." She notices the debris and the signs of Su Chen's battle. She assumes her friend was just being rowdy, but as she starts to question the beast, "By the way, what were you doing just now? You made such a huge commotion." The python's eyes shift before she can finish. The snake's jaw unhinges, not to eat her, but to unleash a void of shimmering light. Panic finally breaks through her. She feels the same spatial pull that erased Su Chen. "Hey, what are you trying to do? Are you crazy? Wait, you don't recognize me anymore?" Just like that, she's gone, leaving Gold alone in the freezing darkness. "Doctor, did you see that? There's not a single person left again." While others are becoming increasingly concerned about these disappearances, the scientist himself displays a disconcerting satisfaction. "This is really heaven helping me." In the dimensional space of the giant python, the strange woman appeared in front of Su Chen. She seems to be surprised. "A human? This is that big snake's spatial dimension. My body can't move at all. Are all these humans who got trapped here because they couldn't get out? No, I have to find a way out." As she realizes the gravity of the situation, Su Chen seems to be getting closer to her. "Wait, why is he getting closer and closer? Damn it, there's no way to dodge it. Don't come any closer. Take another step and see what happens." Ugh, humans are really disgusting creatures. As he got closer to her, Su Chen ended up kissing her. Like in a fairy tale, here it is, the princess who wakes up the prince. But unfortunately, he doesn't wake up in a castle, but in the dimensional space of the python. Su Chen apologized, but the woman seemed more intrigued by the fact that he was still alive. He's still alive? Su Chen quickly grasps the situation. As expected, she was teleported into the spatial dimension. In addition to being alive, Su Chen can move freely, which confuses the woman even more. He can actually move. What's going on? And assistants who once followed the scientist stand frozen in the gloom. Their eyes are wide, staring at nothing. Their faces are frozen in a permanent expression of terror, and their bodies show no signs of life. Su Chen scans the perimeter of this strange dimension. It's smaller than he expected, but the most disturbing part isn't the size, it's the contents. A lot of people are packed in here like inventory in a warehouse. His gaze shifts to the woman who was pulled in after him. Something about her appearance doesn't sit right with him. "I didn't notice earlier, but you're disguised too. Then you must be one of Sister Tian's people." The woman wonders why he is talking about disguises. Su Chen inspected the woman, touching and rubbing her ears with his fingers. The woman felt tickled, started to blush, and felt embarrassed. Su Chen inspection doesn't stop there. He checks the texture of her tail, noting the warmth and the way the fur reacts to the touch. It's not just the fur that reacts. The woman blushes even more and more. Her body temperature begins to rise, and her face becomes covered in sweat. Despite the woman's intense reaction, Su Chen is seeing the bunny outfits Sister Tian handed out earlier, and in his mind, this is just a more high-budget version of the same joke. "You put way more effort into this than Duan Ya and the other bunny girl outfits." If looks could kill, Su Chen would have died a second time. The woman isn't just annoyed, she is humiliated. To be treated like a cosplayer by a mere human is an insult she won't soon forget. "When I get out, I'll tear you into pieces." But what she doesn't know is that this misunderstanding is actually a blessing for her, because Su Chen takes her for one of Sister Tian's people. "Since you're Sister Tian's person, I have no reason to leave you here." But Su Chen isn't leaving just yet. He's not here just to play hero. He searches around in the giant python's space dimension. His search quickly pays off. Tucked away in the folds of the dimension is a glowing container made of pure energy. This is a mutant fruit? Su Chen just found the jackpot, happy with his finding. binding, Su Chen gets ready to pick the mutant fruit. But behind him, the woman's expression has shifted from rage to pure, unadulterated fear. She knows something Su Chen doesn't. She tries to shout, to warn Su Chen. "Idiot! Don't touch the mutant fruit!" But the words are choked back. Without a second of hesitation, Su Chen reaches into the energy container. The moment his skin makes contact, the fruit reacts. Pure energy, dazzling light, bursting forth around him. He doesn't understand what's going on. Why is the power inside the mutant fruit flowing into my body on its own? The surge is massive. It's not just a power-up, it's an evolution. It's more potent than 10 crystal cores combined, but absorbing such power comes with a devastating price. And he is already thinking about the side effects of such power, and we know that he will need to stabilize it. But in the meantime, there is collateral damage. Holding the woman's hand, a portion of power was absorbed by her. Outside, the giant python seems to be panicking. Its eyes spread wide, revealing blinding ice-blue pupils. Without hesitation, the scientist orders all his men to attack. "Kill the frost giant python. Take its spatial crystal core," he shouted at his men. The frost giant python is no longer the hunter. It's a victim of its own dimension. The massive energy surge from mutant fruit is too much for the beast to contain. It convulses, unleashing a violent discharge of spatial energy. It's an emergency purge. The python's internal space is collapsing, and it's vomiting everything back. The cave is filled with the sound of cracking ice and desperate shouting. The survivors, seeing their friends being dumped onto the stone floor like trash, turn to the one man they believe has the answers. But the doctor isn't interested in saving anyone. "Doctor, what should we do?" The man looking back to see the doctor already sprinting away into the tunnels. The scientist had already done the math, and the result was run. While running, he explains what the situation is. The mutant fruit contains enormous energy. The frost giant python must have kept it in its spatial dimension to absorb it slowly, but now it's continuously ejecting everything from its space. Something must have gone wrong inside the spatial dimension. Inside the dimension space, Su Chen sees all the bodies being expelled. Trying to send us out? In his current situation, this scenario is not good for him. "My current state isn't suitable for fighting you," talking to the giant python. He takes the anthropomorphic woman and enters his own dimensional space. "It's safer to stay inside my own space." Inside his dimensional space, he lays the woman on a bed, waiting for the situation to improve outside, and takes her out as soon as the situation is safe. He hopes the isolation will give them time to stabilize, but for his guest, the battle has just begun. Damn it, the side effects are getting worse and worse. While Su Chen was thinking of a way to avoid the giant python and get out, he doesn't notice the shifting energy behind him. The woman's fingernails turn to sharp cat claws, and the last of her human restraint vanished. The woman in heat can finally move again. She lunges at Su Chen and grabs him by the neck. The woman Su Chen was teasing earlier is gone. In her place stands a wild creature driven by an uncontrollable biological surge. She opens her mouth like a wild animal, but this isn't an assassination attempt. She threw herself at him as if she were going to kiss him. The woman clings to Su Chen from the front, seemingly falling as she kisses him. The woman's face has completely changed. She looks more like an enraged cat. She starts biting Su Chen with her cat teeth, again and again, all over his chest and shoulders. Su Chen is perplexed by her behavior. He tries to talk to her, but nothing. "Why are you acting like a wild beast, scratching and biting?" The woman uses her cat claws to tear Su Chen's clothes. Su Chen ends up resigning himself to the situation. Given the amount of power he has absorbed, he will need someone to stabilize him. She grabs the woman and throws her onto the bed, and they find themselves in a weird position. Su Chen doesn't have time for games. He pins the woman down. The cat woman is at his disposal. "Since you delivered yourself right to me, I might as well use you. Stay put and don't cause trouble." Still convinced that her feline features are nothing more than a cosplay, he grabs her tail and tries to pull it off. This tail is kind of in the way. Su Chen pulls with the full force, expecting the tail to come off. Instead, screams of pain echoes through the space. The truth is revealed in a flash of pure agony. This isn't a disguise. It's part of her. With a shaking voice, she asks him to let go of her tail. It hurts her, but ironically, it also excites her. On all fours, from behind, even Chen thinks she looks like a cat. But there's no time to daydream. The side effects are hitting again. Su Chen immediately thinks of his usual method. I need to get out and find Duan Ya and the others as soon as possible. But before he could leave, the Catwoman grabbed his hand. Although she absorbs very little energy, the side effects had already reached a very high level. Overwhelmed by the heat, she didn't have many options left, or rather, she had only one option: to ask Su Chen for help. When Su Chen realized that she was also suffering from side effects, it completely changed the situation. In an environment full of provocations and temptations, there was no time to wait to find Duan Ya and the others. Su Chen decided to let himself go and use her for mutual stabilization. Meanwhile, Duan Ya and Yun Yun are still trapped in the invisible wall cage. Shit, what's with this damn invisible wall? That woman's been gone for so long, why can't it be broken yet? The change they had been waiting for would not be long in coming. An electric field surrounds them, while Su Chen deals with the chaos inside the spatial dimension. The world above ground is tearing itself apart. The python's internal instability has turned the mountain into a ticking time bomb. The earth groans, and the very foundation of the forest begins to buckle under the pressure of a monster that can no longer contain its own power. The summit shatters. In a rain of jagged stone, the giant python erupts from the heart of the mountain. Down at the entrance, Duan Ya and Yun Yun are still pinned by the Catwoman's invisible wall. They are helpless, immobile, and staring straight into the jaws of death. The python, blinded by pain and rage, locks on to the only living things in its sight and rushes to attack. Panic set in. Inside the invisible cage, they tried to find a solution, but they were unable to use their abilities. It's over. Are we really going to die in this beast's mouth? The giant python strikes with the force of a falling comet. Its massive jaws crush stone, leaving nothing but total destruction in its wake. From a distance, it looks like a certain death sentence for anyone caught in the blast zone. But miracles happen when you least expect them. In the split second before impact, the Catwoman's invisible wall vanished. Freed from their prison, the girls didn't run, they fought back. Yun Yun unleashes her full potential, catches the beast's attack head-on, her feet digging into the earth as she halts the momentum of several tons of muscle and scales. She stands tall in her giant transformation, smiling at the situation. I don't know what's going on, but the invisible wall suddenly disappeared. The beast is cornered and erratic. Realizing physical strikes won't work, it taps into the volatile remains of its spatial core. It exhales a devastating beam of dimension frost, a mixture of sub-zero temperatures and spatial power. Yun Yun takes the attacks head-on. The beam slams into her with the force of a hurricane. As the steam builds up, the ground is crystallized. Duan Ya rushes to her friend's side, her voice cracking. Yun Yun, are you okay? Yun Yun is still standing, but Python's dimension frost has left its mark. Her massive arms are locked in a casing of supernatural ice that refuses to melt. Seeing her friend struggling, Duan Ya suggests that they synchronize their attacks. She will scramble at Brain with a mental wave, and Yun Yun will wait for the opening to finish it. Duan Ya unleashes a concentrated wave of mental pressure. The python, already mentally unstable from its dimension collapsing, stands no chance. The titan falls like a puppet with its strings cut. Yun Yun doesn't wait for the ice to melt. She slams her frozen hands together, using her own titanic strength. She launches her massive frame into the sky. As she descends, all the weight and fury of a giant are concentrated into a single point. Yun Yun doesn't give the beast a chance to breathe. Each strike sends shockwaves through the earth. This isn't just a fight, it's a demolition. The silence following Yun Yun's assault is deafening. The giant python finally collapses. Its pulse slows, and its physical form yields. But a creature of this magnitude doesn't go quietly. As its life force fades, the unstable spatial energy stored within the beast's body begins to leak. Yun Yun, still in her giant form, is too close to escape. Before she can even celebrate their victory, the shimmering air swallows her whole. In an instant, the open sky is gone. Yun Yun finds herself compressed into the python's space dimension. Barely freed from the prison of invisible walls, here she is again in a cage. It's so cramped. My whole body is stiff and I can't move. My chest feels tight. It's hard to breathe. I can't even open my eyes. Su Chen takes advantage of the giant python's moment of weakness to return to the real world. To do that, he needs to go from his own dimension to that of the giant python. That's when he has an an unexpected encounter. It's her. Why is she here too? If this keeps up, she'll die. I have to get her out immediately. Outside, Duan Ya yells at the giant python, asking it to give back Yun Yun. And as if by magic, a dimensional portal opens right above the monster. Yun Yun is back, and the first thing she does is get her revenge. She hits the giant python until it is knocked out. With his foot on the head of the defeated beast, Su Chen congratulated the girls. Well done. The battle is over, and the giant python has fallen. Su Chen stands atop his defeated foe, not with pride, but with the focused intensity of a man completing a checklist. In his eyes, this isn't a victory. It's a transaction. Without a hint of hesitation, Su Chen strikes. He doesn't use a blade. He uses the raw power of his own hands to pierce the python's thick, armored skin. The beast, though stunned, lets out a final, involuntary shudder as Su Chen probes deep within its anatomy, searching for the source of its mutated power. Once Su Chen found what he was looking for, he ferociously withdrew his hand from the beast. With one final, agonizing cry that echoes through the mountain, the python's life force finally snaps. Its massive body surges toward the sky in a desperate, dying reflex before collapsing into the dirt. As the dust settles, Su Chen looks at the crystal core that glows with a cold blue light. I've got the python's crystal core. With the python dead, the immediate danger has passed, but a new mystery lies at Su Chen's feet. Duan Ya approaches the fallen figure, recognizing the feline features. Why is she here? For Su Chen, the explanation is simple logic. She helped him inside the spatial dimension, so he brought her out from there. The team gathers around the mysterious cat girl. Su Chen awkwardly scratches his head. While looking away, he let the team know that the cat girl was helpful to deal with some side effects. Yun Yun and Duan Ye immediately grasped what had happened. The girls are a little confused. How could Su Chen have done that with a creature that looks like a beast? The peace doesn't last long. The moment consciousness returns, so does the fury. Her eyes lock onto Su Chen with a murderous intensity that makes even the experienced Duan Ya flinch. This isn't just anger. It's a vow of vengeance. She moves faster than the human eye can follow, a streak of shadow and steel-sharp claws. To her, Su Chen isn't a savior. He is the man who insulted her pride. Su Chen doesn't even break a sweat. A feral attack is predictable. He dodges by an inch. He tries to calm her down, telling her that she was the one who started it and that he had no choice. Su Chen's words hit a nerve. The memory of her animalistic regression inside the dimension is a stain on her pride, and she absolutely doesn't want to hear about it. Su Chen's patience has reached its limit. He doesn't care about her pride or her reasons. If she persists in attacking instead of listening to reason, so be it. He won't hold back either. The team is split on how to handle their new guest. Duan Ya remembers when she was trapped by the invisible wall and seems reluctant of a direct battle. But Yun Yun, still high on her victory against the python, is ready to crush any new challenger. The cat girl assumes a predatory stance, her pupils dilating as she prepares to lock her target into a localized nightmare. Su Chen reassures the team. To him, this isn't a life or death struggle. It's a disciplinary lesson. The cat girl leaping into the air. She strikes with blinding speed. She uses her invisible wall ability to immobilize Su Chen. Locked within the transparent prison, Su Chen doesn't panic. He simply observes the structure of the spatial energy, his mind already 3 steps ahead of the girl's rage. Just as the cat girl thought she was delivering the fatal blow, Su Chen activates his space ability. His dimension doesn't just store items, it bypasses external rules. He pulls out a peculiar green herb. He doesn't strike her with a fist, he slaps her with the grass. The ferocious girl collapses in a heap, her high-speed attack ending in a clumsy roll in the dirt. The battle didn't end with a bang, but with a scent. Su Chen watches with clinical interest as the fierce beast who once threatened him is reduced to a dazed heap on the floor. For a being with heightened feline senses, the mutated herb is like a sensory overload. Her predatory instincts are being scrambled she doesn't understand, leaving her vulnerable and confused. "Human, what did you do to me?" she asked. Duan Ya and Yun Yun are speechless. They've fought monsters and mutated beasts, but they've never seen a high-level threat neutralized by gardening. Catnip can actually control a beast girl? Su Chen knows better. In the post-apocalyptic world, nothing is simple. This is mutated catnip. The rage is gone, replaced by by a hazy, dreamlike state. As the pheromones take hold, her perception of Su Chen shifts. He is no longer just a target. He is a terrifyingly prepared master of her own biology. Even Su Chen himself didn't expect it to work this well. This is an interesting and successful experiment. As the dust of the mountain's collapse begins to settle, a different kind of survivor crawls from the wreckage. Not everyone was consumed by the python's rage. Some were lucky enough, or cowardly enough, to hide in the shadows. The doctor has resurfaced. He looks battered, but his eyes are still burning with greed. He watches Su Chen with a mixture of hatred and grudging respect, annoyed that the brat he left for dead managed to do the impossible. The scientist isn't just looking for survival. He's looking for profit. He sees the python's corpse and automatically thinks of the crystal core Chen just claimed, and his mind immediately begins to calculate how to steal it for himself, not to mention the beautiful women around him. The doctor doesn't ask, he demands. Despite being outmatched in every physical sense, he believes in his status and the power it holds. He demands the python's crystal core and wants Su Chen to give him Duan and Yun Yun. Blinded by their perverse thoughts, accompanied by his men, the scientist tries to play his final card, his influence over Liberty City. He believes he holds the keys to what they are looking for, but to Su Chen's team, he isn't a gatekeeper. He's just a nuisance. The haze of the mutated catnip begins to lift, and with it, the cat girl's fierce pride returns. She stands before Su Chen, her posture rigid and her eyes flashing with a mix of shame and renewed aggression. She isn't ready to let a weird herb define her destiny. Su Chen remains unfazed. He knows that everyone has a weakness, and he watches her with a teasing smirk, knowing exactly which buttons to push to test her resolve. But you were clearly enjoying it just now, and I've got plenty of this stuff. All you have to do is call me Master. But the cat girl refuses to submit, because for her, the beast people will never be slaves. At least, that's what she said. Her resolve lasts exactly 3 seconds. As the concentrated pheromones hit her senses again, the warrior collapses. The biological urge is simply too strong to fight. In an instant, the fierce rebel becomes a desperate follower. Master, I get it. Master, I won't dare again. Victory is sweet, and for Su Chen, it's also practical. See, that wasn't so hard. Stick with me and you'll be fed and sheltered. Su Chen has just submitted a new beauty, but has she really submitted? And what about the scientist? He is making demands, but he's being ignored. Does Su Chen finally lose his patience and deal with these rats? Or does he have a more clever way to use the scientist's influence to get into Liberty City? Hurt in their ego by Su Chen's indifference, the doctor's acolytes let their rage explode. In their eyes, Su Chen's silence is a greater sin than an insult. Their fragile egos, built on the false authority they wield within their group. Even after witnessing the defeat of the frost giant python, they don't see a powerful warrior. They see a kid who needs to be taught his place. Blinded by anger, they commit the last mistake of their lives. They rush headlong into a battle they can't possibly win, screaming threats into the cold mountain air. I'll send you to your grave. Su Chen doesn't even move into a fighting stance. He watches them with the same detached interest one might show toward a pair of buzzing flies. To him, this isn't a fight, it's an annoyance. In an instant, the air becomes heavy. The men stop abruptly, their instincts finally screaming what their pride wouldn't allow them to see. They are staring into the abyss, and for the first time, they realize the abyss is looking back. Su Chen doesn't waste a single punch. With a casual flicker of his spatial ability, he simply opens the door to his dimension and lets the men's own momentum carry them into the dark. No blood, no struggle, just a quick deletion of a minor problem. The portals vanished as quickly as they appeared, leaving nothing behind but the sound of the wind and the silence of 2 men who were never heard from again. The doctor has seen many mutants, but he has never seen a human delete people from reality. The realization hits him like a physical blow. He hasn't been dealing with a lucky brat, but a spatial powerhouse of the highest order. Like a true parasite, the doctor shifts his strategy the moment he realizes he can't win with force. He discards his arrogance and replaces it with a desperate, flattering crawl, hoping to latch onto Su Chen. Silence is Su Chen's most intimidating weapon. Feeling the air grow cold, the doctor begins throwing every bribe he can think of at the wall, hoping something, anything, will stick. He offers to take him to Liberty City, guaranteeing him a good life with power, status, and even women. Su Chen doesn't see a partner. He doesn't even see an enemy. journey. He sees a minor obstacle that has talked for far too long. Who do you think you are? You are a flea trying to negotiate with me. Su Chen tests his newly evolved strength. He doesn't just kill the doctor, he dismantles his existence. With a flick of his wrist, he uses spatial split, severing the man's physical form across multiple dimensions. The doctor is still alive for a final, terrifying second, scattered across space, unable to even scream as his reality shatters. Even though this isn't the first time the girls have seen Su Chen leveled up, it's still impressive how he has transcended the limits of common evolution once again. With the doctor dealt with and the python's core secured, the mountain has nothing left to offer. Su Chen looks toward the distant skyline where Liberty City waits. Beside him, the cat girl has made her choice. She knows the terrain better than any map, and her loyalty is now tied to the man who bested her. The group prepares to leave, but one member of their party is still missing, the enigmatic cat, Gold. But Su Chen, having lived through these trials before, knows that Gold is far from a normal pet. Moments after Su Chen's departure, the silence of the mountain is broken once more. The former corpse queen arrives, her senses tingling from the residual energy of the clash. She stands atop the python's massive carcass, the wind whipping her hair as she traces the path of her master. The corpse queen isn't alone. From the frozen earth near the python corpse, a figure struggles to the surface. The queen's eyes widen in recognition, not of a stranger, but of a presence she has known since the beginning of their journey. Wait, is that you? Emerging from the shadows is a girl who bears an unmistakable resemblance to their missing feline companion. With the same golden patterns and the same mischievous aura, Gold seems capable of transforming herself into human form. Now she looks like a beast folk. The king is dead, and the vultures are already circling. In the brutal hierarchy of the wasteland, there is no moment of silence for the fallen, only a race to claim the throne. Low-level mutant beasts emerge from the shadows, sensing the vacuum of power left by the frost giant python. From the sky, the scale of the confrontation is clear. The corpse queen and her companion are surrounded. To the mindless beasts below, they aren't masters of the apocalypse. They're just rivals for the python's meat and the mountain's crown. The queen remains unmoved by the growing snarls around her. She has a different plan for the python's remains, one that will end the territorial dispute permanently. Gold, stop standing around. Get on! The queen unleashes her true essence. Her power flows into the dead tissue of the giant python, reanimating the massive nervous system and binding the beast's soul to her will. This isn't life. It's a high-level necromantic command. Rise. The mountain trembles once more as the frost giant python returns to its feet as a puppet of the corpse queen. With one command, she has turned a corpse into a fortress. The queen has reclaimed the mountain, and now she has the perfect transport to catch up to Su Chen. After days of trekking through the frozen hell of the mountains, the skyline finally changes. Rising like a steel mirage from the wasteland is Liberty City, a high-tech fortress, a stark contrast to the rest of the forest. The scale is overwhelming. As expected of Liberty City, it's huge. But in a city built like a labyrinth, finding the front door is a challenge in itself. In Liberty City, a smile is often more dangerous than a snarl. As the group hesitates, a local guide appears. While the girls see a helping hand, Su Chen sees a variable he hasn't accounted for yet. The man's approach is warm and smiling. Su Chen's response remains cold and direct. Need something? Old Xing held up his hands in a gesture of peace, maintaining his grin despite Su Chen's cold aura. He just wants to help newcomers. Su Chen announces the reason for their visit. They are here to submit their entry mission. The man told them that that place is hard to find, but he knows this area well and he can take them there. The man called himself Old Xing, and according to him, when the apocalypse came, he was already in Liberty City. Old Xing paints a picture of a man who believes in the future. He claims to be a relic of the old world, a man who survived by luck and now lives to help the heroes who can actually fight back. He emphasized the fact that he's always happy to help newcomers integrate into Liberty City. Arrival at the mission submission office. Old Xing greets the man behind the desk with the ease of a regular, but the receptionist doesn't even offer a nod in return. But Old Xing doesn't pay much attention to it and continues. These folks are here to submit their entry entry mission. The receptionist remains slumped, impassive, almost annoyedly bored by the situation. What mission? Su Chen does not know the name of the mission, so he responds vaguely without forming a complete sentence. Beast-taming sect. Frost python. Without wasting time, he presented Python's crystal core. Old Xing suddenly feels pressure being near Su Chen. You killed the frost python? How did you manage that, little brother? He asks. But Su Chen did not respond. The receptionist confirms it. It really is the python's crystal core. Then he asks about the doctor who needed to be protected during the mission. Su Chen doesn't blink. He offers a simpler, more tragic version of the truth. When I found him, he was already dead. But missions in Liberty City aren't just about killing monsters. They're about following orders. A dead monster is good, but a dead client is a problem. Strength without loyalty is considered a threat. Without the doctor to vouch for them, the group is viewed as either incompetent failures or cold-blooded murderers. The gates are closing before they even open. The receptionist returns the crystal core, his voice dropping into a cold, judgmental tone. To him, no guarantor, no entry. If they can't protect their target, they're either dead weight or traitors. Either way, they aren't Liberty City materials. Just as the mission seems lost, Old Xing plays his hand. He offers up his own reputation and security quota to pull the group in. Old Xing's generosity comes with an immediate price tag. But little brother, I've given you my mining recruitment slot. Tomorrow you'll have to go to help me at the mining area. Su Chen plays along. Of course, you've been righteous to us, so we won't slack off. While the contract is being discussed, the first receptionist sees an opportunity. He secretly took the crystal core. He hands over the rest of the work to someone else and takes the opportunity to leave the office. The paperwork begins, but Su Chen isn't interested in filling out forms. He knows exactly what is going on. He plays the part of the distracted traveler, buying himself a few moments of privacy. Outside the office, the thief admires his prize. To him, the core is a ticket to a promotion and the favor of his captain. The thief's celebration is cut short by a tear in reality. Su Chen uses his spatial power to teleport directly in front of him. Our team has finally arrived in Liberty City, but they're now tied to Old Xing's security team. But that's not all. After trying to steal them, Su Chen has caught the thief red-handed. The thief's victory was short-lived. He thought he was dealing with a naive newcomer, but he's quickly realizing he's cornered. Aren't you the kid who submitted the crystal core? Where did you come from? Su Chen's voice is low, carrying the weight of the life and death struggle he endured on the mountain. I risked my life fighting the frost giant python to get that crystal core. Where are you taking it? The thief decides to play the fool. He pretends not to understand. Desperate, the thief reaches for the only protection he has, his title. In Liberty City, the uniform usually buys you safety. He is part of the law enforcement. Unfortunately, this is worthless against Su Chen, especially after stealing from him. Su Chen doesn't waste words on a dead man. With a terrifying burst of speed, he silences the thief. He doesn't leave a body for the guards to find. He simply opens a dimensional portal to the void and discards the trash. By disappearing, the thief leaves behind what he had stolen. The crystal core is back where it belongs. Even in victory, Su Chen is calculating. Looks like I can't expose my spatial ability so easily. If Liberty City's upper ranks notice, it'll bring trouble. I need to stay low-key. With their paperwork processed and a body silently deleted, Old Xing is leading them to their new residence. The group enters the heart of Liberty City, a vibrant, bustling street market. The girls look around in wonder at the stalls filled with pre-apocalyptic luxuries like fresh fruit. Liberty City is an apocalyptic fortress. Many technologies were preserved. For a moment, the trauma of the mountain feels 1,000 miles away. Even the cat girl, usually a creature of the wild, is mesmerized by the chaotic energy of thousands of humans. According to Old Xing, Liberty City may be chaotic, but public order is guaranteed. After they settle in, Su Chen and his group will be able to slowly explore the city. Talking about order, the crowd suddenly parts as a squad of men in blue uniforms pushes through. The air grows cold as they arrive, their heavy boots drowning out the market's chaotic energy. They aren't here for a routine patrol. They are hunting. They stop directly in front of Su Chen group. Without waiting, they announce themselves, law enforcement. Old Xing knows exactly what law enforcement means. Seeing the heat, he doesn't stay to defend his new recruits. He gives one last piece of advice before abandoning them to the lions. You only have temporary residency. Don't clash with them. Remember to come to the mine tomorrow so I can help you apply for permanent residency. The murmurs in the crowd confirm the severity of the situation. These aren't just beat cops. This case is being handled directly by the captains, Hetu and Heihuo. Something significant has been disrupted, and they are tracing the ripple back to its source. The low-key approach has officially failed. The city's record-keeping is faster than Su Chen anticipated. The man he threw into the dimensional space was supposed to deliver the crystal core, but instead he left a void in the city's paperwork, and the enforcers have come to collect. You newcomers just entered the city. Your origins are unclear. You're the primary suspects. Come back with us for investigation, says one, the captains. Captain Hetu's voice carries the absolute authority of the city's elite. To the citizens watching, if they really dare to mess with law enforcement, Su Chen and his group are already dead. Su Chen doesn't flinch. He knows that investigation is just a polite word for a one-way trip to hell. He challenges their authority with a cold, logical precision that catches the captains off guard. Do you have evidence this is related to us? You expect me to go with you based on suspicion alone. The time for talk is over. The two captains are not here to play by the book. Suspicion is the law, and resistance is a capital crime. The captains prepare to strike, their patience exhausted by this arrogant wanderer. The assault begins with a flash intended to disorient and blind. It's a classic enforcer tactic. Overwhelm the senses before delivering the finishing blow. Hetu unleashes his signature move, Light Sword. It's a blade that cuts through steel as if it were paper. But Su Chen moves like a shadow, his reflexes sharpened by all his battles. The ground erupts in a shower of sparks where he stood only a millisecond before. The captains work in perfect sync. As Su Chen avoids the blade, Heihu lunges for his back with hands that melt anything they touch. But Su Chen doesn't even look back. He simply flows out of the way. The lethality of the captains is undeniable. A single touch from Heihuo would have turned Su Chen's skin to nothing. Even the ground is not spared from corrosion. The enforcer captains are beginning to feel the pressure. For the first time in their careers, their synchronized strikes are hitting nothing but the ground. Yet, their arrogance remains intact. They believe that Su Chen got lucky. And with their combined powers, an invincible light sword, and the hands that corrode everything, they never lost a fight. Su Chen isn't interested in their history. He has already calculated the end of this fight. Not only will they lose for the first time, but they will also lose their lives. The captains commit everything to a final pincer maneuver. They aim to trap him in a cage of light and corrosion. Su Chen remains a statue, waiting for the exact microsecond where their momentum becomes irreversible. Speed is the ultimate counter to power. Before Heihuo's hands can touch him, Su Chen is gone. A single, heavy strike to the back turns the attacker into a projectile, hurtling him toward his own brother. Panic replaces strategy. In the chaos of the collision, instincts take over. Heihuo reaches out to catch himself, forgetting that his hands carry a lethal curse. The very power intended for Su Chen is now melting his brother's face. Pain turns a warrior into a beast, blinded and dying. Hetu lashes out with his light sword. The blade that was meant to be invincible severs his brother's arms in a single, clean stroke. The enforcers of Liberty City have effectively dismantled themselves. The invincible duo has been dismantled. Even if one of them seems to be still standing, his rage is the only thing keeping him from collapsing. My hand, damn you! I'll skin you alive! Su Chen doesn't argue with dead men. He calmly walks toward the severed hand on the ground. Disappointed that the captain had lost his arrogant attitude, he let their own weapons finish the conversation. With a casual, powerful kick, he sends the corrosive limb flying through the air like a projectile, aimed straight at Heihuo's screaming mouth. Captain Heihuo sees his death coming, delivered by his own hand. A blur of steel flashes across the scene. The corrosive hand is sliced into dust, mid-air just inches from Heihuo's face. The lethal projectile is neutralized in a heartbeat. The air pressure in the market shifts, a sign that a much larger presence has entered the fray. That presence stands between Su Chen and the dying captains. She holds a long, elegant sword. It was only a minor conflict. Why go for the kill? She asked. The law enforcement officers recognized the blade and the person wielding it. It's a blonde blonde-haired woman. Her aura is calm but suffocating. She's leader Chin Man, a name that carries weight in every corner of Liberty City. As a level 4 powerhouse, her arrival changes the gravity of the situation. Su Chen doesn't care about titles or reputations. To him, Chin Man is just another obstacle standing between him and his goal. But before attacking, he asks her to reveal her intentions. You're with them? Trying to silence me? Chin Man doesn't defend the captains out of affection. She simply doesn't want this matter to escalate. After all, she saw everything. In her eyes, they were fools who lacked the vision to recognize a predator. Even if they died, they'd deserve it. At least, that's what she said. But in a city built on order, the image of authority is often more important than the truth. She asks Su Chen to give her some face, and not to publicly execute the squad captains. During the negotiations, Captain Heihuo worries about his life, and pitifully begs her leader to save his life. Su Chen sees through diplomacy. He knows that if the roles were reversed, Chin Man would have watched him die without blinking. Oh, when they were attacking me earlier, you didn't show up, but the moment I'm about to kill this scum, you step in? He challenges her moral high ground, exposing the cold reality of their world. If we had been beaten to death just now, I suppose you wouldn't have shown yourself either. Before answering, Chin Man closing her eyes for a brief moment, she doesn't offer a lie. In the apocalypse, honesty is as sharp as a blade. She confirms the dark law of apocalypse. The weak have no right to a savior. Su Chen looking down at the twitching Captain Hetu. He doesn't take orders, not from captains and not from leaders. He accepts her logic and applies it. If only the strong matter, then he has every right to discard the trash beneath his boot. You expect me to stop just because you say so? That's a bit too taken for granted. Chin Man's aura explodes outward, cracking the pavement as she steps forward. The air grows heavy enough to crush bone. Chin Man's patience has reached its limit. Are you trying to challenge Liberty City's authority? This is no longer about the captain's lives. It is about the hierarchy of the city. A level 4 expert is a walking natural disaster, and she is ready to unleash it. Even as the ground trembles, Su Chen is analyzing. He doesn't come to Liberty City for a war, but as he looks at Chin Man, he realizes that in this city, you don't find respect, you take it. Not to mention the fact that powerful experts don't seem to be that rare in the city. Su Chen doesn't back down. He meets Chin Man's overwhelming aura with his own, chilling the air and stabilizing the ground. He isn't looking for a war, but he makes it clear that he isn't a subject to be commanded, and without an equal bargaining chip, it won't be easy to make him let the captain go. Chin Man is a leader who thinks beyond the blade. She realizes that a fight to the death would destroy the very order she seeks to protect. She acknowledges Su Chen's strength. But what about the girls? The tension breaks, replaced by a cold, professional negotiation. What are you implying? Asks Su Chen. Chin makes her offer. As the leader of the Enlo enforcement, she offers protection and guarantees no one will dare trouble him. Every gift in Liberty City comes with a hook. Chin Man isn't being kind. She is investing in a powerful variable for a future she already foresees. She even suggests that Su Chen must not refuse her offer. To reinforce her offer, she even took out a residence token on the spot. She throws the residence token at Su Chen. Even before he accepts, things already seem to be settled. Go to the residential district and find He Laowu. He'll arrange a place for you. Su Chen catches the token. He looks at it, then accepts Chin Man's offer. The low-key plan is dead, but maybe a much larger game has begun. The storm has passed, but the air remains thick with unspoken threats. As Chin Man prepares to leave with her disgraced officers, she offers one final piece of advice. Oh, right. Little brother, there's a curfew in Liberty City at night. Don't wander around. If something really happens, even I won't be able to protect you. The price of their safety is a blank check, signed with Su Chen's future. Duan Ya wonders about the cost of such a deal, but Su Chen remains unbothered. In his world, a promise is just a debt to be managed when the collector arrives. The encounter with Chin Man was a wake-up call. Liberty City isn't the wasteland. It's a den of high-level experts. If the team is to survive, average strength won't be enough. They need to improve their strength quickly. There is no time to waste. Su Chen hands over the Frost Python crystal core to Duan Ya, the cat girl standing slightly apart. She watches the crystal core change hands with fortune being given away. Even if she is new to the group, she doesn't seem to be pleased with the distribution of the spoils. Following Chin Man's directions, they reach their new sanctuary. They are met by He Lao Wu. You've had a long journey. The room is ready. Please follow me. He Lao Wu leads the group to their new quarters. Housing resources in Liberty City are tight. You'll have to make do here for now, advises the old man. From the entrance, you can see a plate of bright red apples. For Yun Yun, the sight of fresh fruit looks very inviting. That's perfect timing because ever since they went to the market, she's been wanting to eat one. The dream shatters instantly. The apple doesn't taste like sugar or juice. It tastes like wax. That's how fruit is in Liberty City. As long as it fills your stomach, that's good enough. But if anyone had a choice, no one would eat fruit. Duan Ya is curious. Why wouldn't they eat fruit if they could? Are they really that bad? He Lao Wu's words reveal the dark secret behind the city's civilization. The soil was polluted long ago in the apocalypse. The fruit may look beautiful, but it's full of hidden toxins inside. Long-term consumption slowly erodes one's abilities. For ordinary people, eating it means they won't survive half a year. Only us, lower-tier folks, eat it occasionally when there's nothing else to fill our stomachs. After everything he heard, Su Chen began to wonder about the true face of Liberty City. Strange fruit, powerful ability users, a nighttime curfew. What exactly happens in Liberty City after dark? The luxury apartment promised by Chin Man turns out to be a glorified concrete box. This place is way too shabby, and it even smells. Let's just make do for now. As long as it's safe, I'll find a place to set up a temporary lab, said Su Chen. As their guide prepares to leave, he leaves them with the only truth that matters in Liberty City. Remember, Liberty City only respects ability. No one helps anyone unconditionally here. Don't cause trouble, and don't meddle in other people's business. Staying alive is the most important thing. Su Chen knows that in a city of tasteless, toxic wax fruit, anything that tastes better is worth more than gold. As Lao Liu was leaving, Su Chen stopped him to extract more information. But before that, he gave him something that was worth more than gold. Something edible that didn't taste repulsive. A few simple squares of chocolate were enough to melt Lao Liu's expression. Holy crap, kid, you've got good stuff. This thing is even rarer than crystal cores these days. The quantity is small, certainly, but enough to get old Lao Liu talking. Without further ado, he asks Su Chen what he wants to know. Su Chen remains calm, but with a small smile showing that he is proud of his move. Now it's time to reap the benefits. Tell me about the rules of Liberty City. The more detailed, the better. Lao Liu speaks with a new intensity, a little embarrassed, but he continues nonetheless. The rules of Liberty City. For ordinary people, there's basically one core rule. Don't cross the red line. Murder and robbery. If the enforcement team catches you on the spot, you're finished. No room for negotiation. Su Chen notices that he mentions the category of ordinary people and wants to know what exactly that means in Liberty City. Lao Liu begins to go into detail. For people like us, ordinary folks, we work ourselves to death just to get a few mutated fruits. As long as we don't starve, that's already good enough. If you want better stuff, either join a hunter group to kill ancestral beasts and trade their corpses for rewards, or take on high-risk jobs. Whether you survive or not depends entirely on luck. Speaking of fruit, Su Chen hones in on his true objective, the ability fruit, a fruit that is said to be superior to the crystal core. He asks innocently if the old man has ever heard of it. The old man seems to know a few things about the ability fruits, and doesn't hesitate to reveal everything to Su Chen. According to him, they only appear at auctions, but that place isn't open to just anyone. You have to be at least a captain of the enforcement team to enter. The barrier is ridiculously high. Lao Liu leans in close to Su Chen. His voice drops to a conspiratorial whisper as he mentions Chin Man. But it's not impossible. Aren't you on good terms with that Chin Man? Chin Man is more than just the leader of the enforcement team. She is a ruthless figure in the enforcement team. Even the generals give her face. Lao Liu suggests that if Su Chen gets on her good side, entering the auction would be easy. General, Liberty City even has ranks like that, retorted Su Chen. Of course, Liberty City has a strict hierarchy. At the top is the city lord, followed immediately by governor, the just below the generals, then enforcement captains, and finally the enforcement soldiers. Su Chen listens intently, memorizing the blueprint of the city's power. It's a pyramid built on strength and blood. For example, to become a general, one must be a late-stage level 3 human. There are only about 20 in the entire city. Each command commanding hundreds of captains. Their power is enormous. Lao Liu taps Su Chen on the shoulder, positioning himself as an old survivor, giving advice to a young man full of ambition. If you can become an enforcement captain, forget ability fruits. You could get almost anything you want. Su Chen thanked him and politely said that he'll remember about becoming an enforcement captain and the auction. The conversation is interrupted by the reality of the lower districts. The neighbors emerge, walking ghosts of the apocalypse. They are the ordinary people Lao Liu spoke of, existing on the edge of starvation, their lives measured in work shifts and rations. Despite his body appearing to be malnourished, he does not hesitate to share a bun with his new neighbor. Su Chen politely declines. The other neighbor steps forward without hesitation, walks past Lao Liu, and addresses him directly. "Old Tong, stop dawdling. If we're late again, we'll miss work and lose today's rations." Lao Liu watches them go, his expression shifting to a weary sadness. Those two have been working here since Liberty City was first built. When the apocalypse came, they just stayed, talking about Su Chen's neighbors as they disappeared down the hallway. "What kind of work do they do?" asked Su Chen. Lao Liu telling him that he better not take that kind of job, and people with short lives can't handle it. A sudden, unnatural chill sweeps through the hallway. The old man is wondering, why did it suddenly get so cold? He adds that the broken building doesn't even have proper insulation. But time is running out, as the neighbor said. "It's time to get to work." "Forget it. I have to go back to work too," he said as he left. The old man leaves to chase his rations. Su Chen stands alone for a second, and then he senses it immediately. A familiar, predatory cold that shouldn't exist inside these walls. The temperature is plummeting, and the source is uncomfortably close. Close-up of the apartment door. Frost is blooming across the metal like crystalline flowers. Su Chen reaches out, his hand sticking slightly to the frozen handle. As he flings it open, a cloud of sub-zero mist pours out, and shards of ice clatter to the floor. As the door swings wide, a wave of absolute zero air hits him, thick with the scent of the mountain and the ancient power of the giant python. In the middle of the room stands Duan Ya, with a massive, spectral aura of the frost python swirling around her. The girls can only watch in horror. What was meant to be a level up has turned into a parasitic invasion. The frost python's crystal core is fighting back, its icy will crushing Duan Ya's consciousness. If this continues, she'll be completely devoured. Duan Ya is at her breaking point. Every nerve in her body is being rewritten by the frost. She is a warrior, but the python's will is too strong, ready to take control of her body at all costs. Su Chen doesn't hesitate. He walks calmly into the heart of the blizzard. "Don't panic. I'll stabilize her." Duan Ya stands rigid, her eyes glowing with a freezing. She is gone. In her place stands the vengeful will of the frost python. The air in the room crystallizes as the beast's ego takes full control. Su Chen's eyes remain fixed as he detects a blur of motion. The possessed Duan Ya strikes with terrifying velocity. Su Chen doesn't flinch. He has anticipated every twitch of her stolen muscles. To save the soul, you must first wake the body. As soon as she gets close to him, he slaps her on each cheek, a physical shock to break the python's hypnotic grip. It's a brutal necessity, a reminder to Duan Ya's subconscious that she is still the master of her own flesh. He doesn't give her time to reel. Su Chen pulls her in, initiating a deep kiss. He pours his own energy in her and guides her. Su Chen chooses the most dangerous path, direct consciousness transfer. By creating a physical and spiritual link, he offers his own body as a lightning rod. He is literally sucking the frost python consciousness into his own body. The cat girl, driven by instinct, reaches out, her hand trembling as she nears the imposing aura of the frost python. As soon as the cat girl's fingertips brush the aura, they turn a deathly translucent white. She recoils, clutching her frozen hand as ice scales begin to form on her skin. Yun Yun, usually the gentlest of the group, snaps at the cat girl. "What are you doing? Su Chen can't afford to lose focus right now. You'd better stop causing trouble and don't try anything funny." Su Chen and Duan Ya pull apart. The gamble pays off. Duan Ya's eyes have returned to normal, though she looks exhausted. In a shy and reserved voice, she thanks Su Chen for his help. The cat girl crosses her arms, looking away with a red face, clearly embarrassed by her previous actions. But her feline ears suddenly twitch. She looks out the window, her pupils slitting in curiosity. "It's the enforcement team. room, and they seem to be chasing something. The cat girl gestures for Su Chen to look. Curiosity turns to dread. What's wrong? Wonders Su Chen. Looking through the barricaded window, down into the alleyways of the residential sector, she sees a monster. Stop right there, yell the enforcement team. But the monster isn't cooperating. It's running for its life, begging for mercy. This isn't just a monster, it's an aberration, a mass of flesh. Its head and torso are covered by terrified human eyes. Irregular bone spikes protrude from his back, like those of a mutant porcupine. This is a twisted monument to the apocalypse. He himself cries out that he didn't want to end up like the curfew isn't just a rule. It could be related to this cleanup operation. As the monster keeps running, begging to be spared and saying he doesn't want to die, he soon finds himself at a dead end. The monster stopped and looked up at the sky, and it wasn't to admire the full moon. At the top of the buildings were 3 officers from the enforcement team. After cornering the monster, they jumped on it, landing right in front of it. Frozen in place, you can see the fear in the eyes surrounding the upper half of his body, from his head to his shoulders. The monster doesn't have time to say a word. One of the officers, armed with 2 sabers, launches the first attack. The attack isn't fatal, but its power is by no means negligible, as the monster's face attests. The monster screams in pain. There's no way it's going to stay there and die, so it looks for a way out. But another officer moves into position and beats him to it. The noose was tightening, and he shouted what would likely be his last words. "Damn, I'm surrounded." The officer with the 2 swords unleashes his aura. You can see the pressure he's putting on the monster. It has undoubtedly realized that its time has come. "You monster, try running again." With another clean swing of his sword, he cut the monster down. This time, the monster did not get back up. From above, you can see one of the officers grabbing the monster by the arm and dragging it along the ground, leaving a trail of blood that leads straight to the monster's body. By his side are his 2 teammates who remain a short distance away, surrounding the monster's corpse. On this night of the full moon, nothing escapes the residents' notice. In fact, that might explain why some windows are covered with wooden planks. From one of the windows, which had been boarded up with wooden planks, the cat girl watched the monster's execution and kept watching as the monster was dragged by the enforcement team. She still can't believe it. In a place like Liberty City, which everyone longs for, such a horrifying monster has appeared. Standing beside her, Su Chen was also watching the whole scene. He doesn't let horror cloud his judgment. He sees the shameful secrets of the city as leverage and additional data. "Master, what should we do next?" asked the cat girl. Well, Su Chen isn't rushing things. With the data he has collected, he already has a plan to achieve his goal. But for tonight, he suggests that his team get some rest, and tomorrow morning he'll find a way to join the enforcement team, then go to the auction to look for information about ability fruits. As for the rest of the team, they should take this opportunity to explore the city, and especially keep an eye out for news about the monster. Enforcement Team Headquarters. Su Chen doesn't wait for a morning interview. Using his spatial mastery, he slips through the physical barriers of the high security zone like a ghost. He isn't just entering a building. He walks around as if he owns the place. After a while, he found what he was looking for. When he reaches the door, he quietly opens it and slips inside. "No one's here?" he asked, closing the door quietly. Su Chen's stealth is flawless, but his timing is disastrous. As he opened another door, he came across Chin Man. Chin Man is standing there, dressed only in a white bathrobe. The silence is deafening. This isn't just a surprise, it's a declaration of war. Chin Man's aura explodes. A shockwave rips through the room, shattering the windows, the pressure cracking the very foundation of the building. Her soldiers rush to the door, sensing the killing intent radiating from their leader's private chamber. Leader Chin Man. What happened? Chin Man doesn't need an army to deal with a pest, and certainly not in the current situation. With a single command, she drives her men back, leaving her alone in the wreckage with the intruder. Chin Man's eyes glow a predatory red. She looks like a goddess of war, her aura suffocating the air. She is ready to erase Su Chen from existence for his insolence. "Give me a reason not to kill you," she said to Su Chen. Su Chen stood perfectly still, amused by the situation, and gave an answer that sounded more like a provocation. "You probably can't kill me either." That was enough to light the fuse. Chin Man strikes with the speed of a whip, but Su Chen moves with the grace of the void. He catches her leg with clinical precision. He doesn't just block, he controls her momentum. Then he raises the stakes. He pulls the leader of the enforcement enforcement team into a restrictive embrace, his hand sliding across her back to lock her against him. He looks directly into her eyes, a faint, confident smile playing on his lips. Chin Man's face flushes a deep red, half from rage, half from the realization that she is physically trapped, unable to move. Su Chen pulls her even tighter, their faces inches apart. "Bastard, let go of me," she shouted at Su Chen. Su Chen didn't let go of her and told her to calm down. The heat of battle cools into a tense truce. Chin Man's killing intent finally fades, replaced by a begrudging, frustrated respect. She stops struggling. "You've got some nerve sneaking into the enforcement team headquarters." Su Chen remains in a relaxed, dominant stance while Chin Man glares at him, with the He brothers out of the picture, thanks to his own hand. There is a power vacuum in the enforcement team. He offers himself as the replacement, turning his previous differences into a resume for the job. Chin Man isn't easily intimidated, even when the odds are stacked against her. And whose fault is it that one of the He brothers is dead and the other is injured? And now you shamelessly want to become a captain. Su Chen pulls her, closes the gap again, his gaze locking onto hers with a smirk that is both charming and confident. Chin Man freezes, caught between her duty as a leader, her reaction as a woman, and the anger of being dominated. Su Chen stops the talking and moves straight to the point. "Leader Chin Man, name your condition." The response is a blade. As soon as she's free of Su Chen's grip, she unleashes a storm of her energy. She doesn't hold back. She isn't just fighting to arrest him. She's fighting to reclaim her pride. Su Chen wanted to know the condition for becoming captain. It's simple. All he has to do is defeat her. The room becomes a blender of high-frequency slashes and sonic booms as she tries to pin down Su Chen. The combination of the aura blast she had unleashed, which cracked nearly all the walls, and the clash between two level 4s. This is more than a duel. It's a natural disaster for building. The structural integrity of the enforcement HQ gave way under the pressure. Part of it exploded. The soldiers rushed to the scene, wondering what just happened and why did the building explode. They're worried about their leader. When the soldiers arrive, the war has already ended. Chin Man is sitting in the middle of the dust and debris of her own office, her expression unreadable, her perfectly adjusted. Su Chen stands before her with a little smile on his face, his hands in his pockets, and not a single scratch. After clearing her throat, she announces the big news. "Let me introduce him. This is your new captain." And right away, she orders her men to show Su Chen around and get him familiar with enforcement team. And for her, she needs to rest for a while. The soldiers were shocked and completely confused by the situation and her statement. Su Chen leaves as a winner, having secured the rank and a very personal connection with one of the most powerful figures in the city. The soldiers are left with 1,000 questions and a new captain who seems to be the only man alive capable of making leader Chin Man lose her cool. Chin Man is no longer angry, she's calculating. Su Chen is a level 4 anomaly, a perfect ally. The general's words echo in her mind. A level 4 newcomer? Perfect. Send him to teach those guys in the fighting arena a lesson. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe. Have a nice day.